Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into an interesting and collectible coin from Australia, the 2001 Australian 50 cents coin. If you have one of these coins in very fine condition, you might be wondering what it's worth today and whether it holds any special value for collectors. So let's explore its history, condition, composition, demand, and current market value in detail. Let's begin with the story behind this coin. The Australian 50 cents coin has been part of the country's decimal currency since 1966, when Australia transitioned from pounds to dollars. Over the years, this coin has become one of the most recognizable pieces in Australian currency due to its distinctive shape and size. The 2001 issue was released during a time when the Royal Australian Mint was producing coins primarily for circulation, but also with a growing awareness of collectors and numismatics enthusiasts around the world. While 2001 was not a commemorative year for the standard circulating 50 cents coin, it still holds significance because of its consistent design and strong mintage quality. Now let's talk about the design and physical characteristics of the coin. The Australian 50 cents coin is famous for its, which makes it stand out from most other coins globally. On the reverse side, you'll find the Australian coat of arms, featuring the kangaroo and emu supporting a shield that represents the states. This design symbolizes national unity and heritage. The obverse side features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, as was standard for Australian coins during that period. The coin is made from cupronickel, a durable alloy consisting of. This composition gives the coin its silver-like appearance while ensuring resistance to wear and corrosion, making it ideal for circulation. When we discuss condition, the term very fine is quite important in coin collecting. A coin in very fine condition has seen some circulation, but still retains clear details. The major features of the design are sharp, though you may notice moderate wear on high points, such as the kangaroo, emu, or the Queen's portrait. The edges remain well-defined, and the inscriptions are readable without difficulty. This level of preservation is considered quite desirable for older circulating coins, especially those that are no longer commonly found in everyday transactions. Moving on to collector demand, the 2001 Australian 50 cents coin is not extremely rare, but it does hold steady interest among collectors. Many collectors aim to complete date sets of Australian coins, meaning they want one coin from each year. Because of this, even standard circulation coins like the 2001 issue can maintain consistent demand. Additionally, collectors who focus on condition will seek out coins in very fine or better grades, which adds to their appeal. While it may not be a rare treasure, it is definitely a solid and respectable addition to any collection. Now let's address this question everyone is most curious about: the current market value. As of today, in most cases, it can range from around $1,050,000 to $2,040,000 Australian dollars, depending on the exact condition, luster, and buyer interest. If the coin is closer to extremely fine or uncirculated condition, the value can be a bit higher, but for very fine, the premium remains modest. Still, it's important to remember that coin values can fluctuate based on market trends and collector demand. For those of you who are collectors or thinking about becoming one, there are some helpful tips to keep in mind. Always handle your coins carefully and avoid touching the surfaces directly, as oils from your fingers can affect their condition over time. Store your coins in protective holders or albums to preserve their quality. It's also a good idea to learn about grading standards, as the condition of a coin plays a major role in determining its value. Keeping an eye on market trends and auction results can also help you understand how prices are changing over time. As we come to the conclusion, the 2001 Australian 50 cents coin is a great example of how even everyday currency can become collectible and meaningful. While it may not be a high-value rarity, it carries historical significance, a unique design, and steady demand among collectors. If you already have one in very fine condition, it's definitely worth keeping as part of a collection. And who knows, its value could grow over time as interest in Australian coins continues to increase. Next up, today we're diving into an exciting and often overlooked coin that might already be sitting in your collection or even in your pocket change. We're talking about the Australia 50 cents coin from the year 1979, especially in fine condition, and exploring its real market value today in dollars. When we talk about the history of the 1979 Australian 50 cents coin, we are looking at a piece that belongs to one of the most recognizable coin series in Australia. Introduced in 1966, when Australia shifted to decimal currency, the 50-cent coin quickly became famous for its unique dodecagonal shape, meaning it has 12 sides. The 1979 version continues this tradition and carries the iconic Australian coat of arms on the reverse side, symbolizing national pride with the kangaroo and emu. Now, coming to its condition, which plays a very important role in determining value. A coin described as fine condition means it has been circulated but still retains clear details. You may notice some wear on the high points of the design, but the major features like the shield, animals, and lettering are still visible. This is actually a very respectable condition for a coin that is more than 4 decades old, and collectors often appreciate such coins as they still carry history while remaining affordable. Let's talk about the background and composition of this coin, which also adds to its charm. The 1979 Australian 50-cent coin is made from a copper-nickel alloy, consisting of, unlike the earlier 1966 version, which was made of silver and now holds a much higher intrinsic value. The 1979 coin does not contain precious metal. However, its durability and distinct look make it a favorite among collectors. Its weight, size, and unique 12-sided shape make it stand out instantly in any collection. Now you might be wondering, what about collector demand? This is where things get interesting. The 1979 Australian 50-cent coin is not considered extremely rare because millions were minted. However, demand still exists, especially among beginner collectors and those building complete date sets of Australian coins. Coins in better condition, such as very fine or uncirculated, naturally attract more attention. But even fine condition coins, like the one we are discussing, hold steady interest due to their age and historical value. Coming to the most important part, the current market value. As of today, a 1979 Australian 50-cent coin in fine condition typically ranges between 148,000 to 75,000 Australian dollars. In some cases, depending on buyer interest or slight improvements in condition, it may go a little higher. While it may not sound like a huge amount, the real value lies in its collectability and the joy of owning a piece of history. And remember, coin values can always change over time as demand shifts and more collectors enter the market. Now let's talk about some helpful tips for collectors who either own this coin or are planning to collect similar coins. First, always store your coins properly in coin holders or albums to prevent further wear. Avoid cleaning your coins, as cleaning can actually reduce their value significantly. Try to learn about grading standards, because even a small difference in condition can affect value. And most importantly, enjoy the process of collecting. Every coin has a story, and the more you explore, the more rewarding the hobby becomes. As we come to the conclusion, the 1979 Australian 50-cent coin in fine condition may not be a rare treasure worth hundreds of dollars, but it is definitely a meaningful and collectible piece. It represents a rich part of Australia's currency history, offers a great starting point for new collectors, and holds steady value in the coin market. Sometimes the real treasure is not just the price, but the history, the design, and the journey of the coin itself. Next up, today, we're diving into one of Australia's fascinating commemorative coins, the 1998 Australian 50 cents coin, issued for the 200th anniversary of the voyage of Bass and Flinders. And not just any coin. We're talking about one in very fine condition and what it's worth in today's market. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand not only its value in dollars, but also why collectors appreciate this coin so much. Back in 1998, Australia celebrated a major milestone 200 years since the historic voyage of Matthew Flinders and George Bass. These two explorers played a crucial role in mapping the Australian coastline and proving that Tasmania was actually an island. To honor this achievement, the Royal Australian Mint released this special 50-cent commemorative coin. The design captures the spirit of exploration, often featuring imagery linked to navigation and discovery. making it more than just currency, it's a tribute to history. Now, when we talk about a coin being in very fine condition, we're describing a piece that has clearly been in circulation but still holds strong detail. The major features are visible, the design is not worn flat, and although there may be light scratches or signs of use, the coin still looks attractive and collectible. For many collectors, this level of condition strikes a nice balance between affordability and historical authenticity. The Australian 50-cent coin is well known for its distinctive dodecagonal shape, that design that makes it instantly recognizable. This particular coin, like standard Australian 50-cent coins of its time, is made from cupronickel, which is a mix of copper and nickel. This composition gives it durability and that familiar silvery appearance. It weighs about and has a solid, sturdy feel that collectors appreciate. Even though it's not made of precious metals like silver or gold, its real value comes from its historical significance and collectible appeal. Now let's talk about demand, because that's where things get interesting. Commemorative coins like this one tend to attract a wide range of collectors. Some people collect Australian coins specifically, while others focus on maritime history or exploration themes. This coin fits nicely into both categories. Collectors especially appreciate coins that are well preserved, so a very fine condition coin will always have a healthy level of interest in the market. So, what is this coin actually worth today? As of now, a 1,998 Australian 50-cent Bass and Flinders coin in very fine condition typically falls in the range of about $2,000, $40,000 to $75,000, depending on factors like overall eye appeal, exact condition, and where it's being sold. If the coin is closer to the higher end of very fine with sharper details and fewer marks, it can sometimes push slightly higher. On the other hand, if it shows more wear, it might stay toward the lower end of that range. It's important to remember that while this coin isn't rare enough to command very high prices, it still holds solid collectible value and is a great piece for both beginners and experienced collectors. If you're thinking about adding this coin to your collection, or maybe you already have one, there are a few positive and practical things to keep in mind. First, always handle your coins carefully. Try to hold them by the edges to avoid fingerprints, as oils from your skin can affect the surface over time. Second, proper storage makes a big difference. Keeping your coin in a protective holder or coin album helps preserve its condition and maintain its value. Also, take your time when buying. Look at clear images if you're purchasing online, and compare a few options before making a decision. A slightly better condition coin is often worth the small extra cost. And finally, enjoy the journey. Coin collecting isn't just about value, it's about the stories, the history, and the connection to the past. The 1,998 Australian 50-cent coin, celebrating the voyage of Bass and Flinders, is a wonderful example of how a simple coin can carry deep historical meaning. In very fine condition, it offers both affordability and collectible charm, making it a great addition to any collection. While its market value today may be modest in dollar terms, its true worth lies in the story it tells and the legacy it represents. Coins like this remind us that even everyday objects can hold extraordinary history. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin is definitely one to appreciate. Next up, today we're diving into a fascinating and beautiful coin from Australia, the 50-cent coin featuring the Australian fauna, the lorikeet, koala, and wombat, especially focusing on the 2004 issue in very fine condition and its current market value in dollars. If you love coins, wildlife, or hidden treasures in everyday currency, you're going to enjoy this one. Let's start with the story behind this coin. Australia's 50-cent coin has always been one of the most iconic coins in the country's currency system, not just because of its size and unique shape, but also because of its artistic designs. Over the years, special commemorative versions have been released, and the 2004 fauna-themed coin stands out for its celebration of Australia's unique wildlife. The design showcasing the lorikeet, koala, and wombat reflects the natural beauty and biodiversity of Australia. Each animal represents a different aspect of the country's environment, from colorful birdlife to peaceful tree dwellers and strong, grounded marsupials. It's more than just currency. It's a miniature tribute to nature. Now, when we talk about a coin being in very fine condition, we're referring to a piece that has seen some circulation but still retains clear details. The major features of the design remain sharp, though there may be light wear on the highest points. For collectors, this condition is still quite respectable and often considered a solid addition to a collection. Moving on to the background and composition of this coin, the Australian 50-cent piece is quite distinctive. It has a dodecagonal shape that means 12 sides, which makes it easy to recognize even without looking at the design. The coin is made from cupronickel, which is an alloy of copper and nickel. This combination gives the coin durability and resistance to corrosion, which is why even coins from 2004 can still look quite attractive today. The standard weight and size of the coin also add to its appeal, making it feel substantial in the hand. This physical presence is one reason why the Australian 50-cent coin has always been popular, not just among collectors but also among the general public. Now let's talk about collector demand, which is where things get really interesting. Coins featuring animals, especially native fauna, are always popular among collectors worldwide. The 2004 fauna coin benefits from this trend because it combines three beloved Australian animals in one design. Collectors are drawn to coins that tell a story, and this one does exactly that. It connects people to Australia's wildlife and culture, making it appealing not just locally, but internationally as well. In very fine condition, this coin is accessible to many collectors, which actually helps maintain steady demand. It's not so rare that it becomes unattainable, but it's also not so common that it loses its charm. That balance keeps interest alive in the collector community. So what about the current market value? This is the question most people are curious about. For a 2004 Australian 50-cent fauna coin in very fine condition, the value typically ranges from around $145,000 to $175,000, depending on factors like overall appearance, demand at the time of sale, and whether it's part of a set. If the coin is in better condition, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, the value can go higher. On the other hand, if it shows more wear, but even at a modest price, the coin holds strong appeal because of its design and theme. What's important to remember is that coin values can change over time. As more collectors become interested in wildlife-themed coins, pieces like this can gradually increase in value. If you're thinking about adding this coin to your collection, there are a few helpful things to keep in mind. Always try to choose the best condition you can afford, because condition plays a major role in long-term value. It's also a good idea to store your coins properly, using holders or albums that protect them from scratches and environmental damage. Take time to learn about the coin's details and authenticity. Even though this coin is not heavily counterfeited, knowledge always gives you confidence as a collector. And most importantly, collect what you enjoy. Coins like this are not just investments, they're pieces of history and art. In conclusion, the 2004 Australian 50-cent fauna coin featuring the lorikeet, koala, and wombat is a wonderful example of how everyday currency can carry beauty, culture, and meaning. In very fine condition, it remains an affordable and attractive option for collectors, with a steady market value and strong appeal. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, this coin is a great reminder that collecting is not just about price. It's about appreciation, discovery, and the stories behind each piece. Next up, today we're going to explore a fascinating coin that many collectors overlook, but quietly holds its own charm and value, the Australian 50-cent coin from 1996 in very fine condition. If you enjoy coin collecting, or you're curious about how everyday coins can turn into valuable collectibles, then this video is definitely for you. The Australian 50-cent coin has a rich and interesting history. First introduced in 1966, when Australia transitioned to decimal currency, this coin quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the country. The original 50-cent coin was made of silver, but due to rising silver prices, it was soon replaced with a more affordable composition. By 1996, the coin had already adopted its now famous 12-sided shape, which makes it stand out from most coins around the world. This distinct design not only adds visual appeal, but also makes it easier to identify by touch, which is especially useful in everyday use. The 1996 version features the iconic Australian coat of arms on the reverse side, symbolizing the nation's identity and heritage. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, reflecting Australia's connection to the Commonwealth. Now let's talk about the condition, because condition plays a major role in determining a coin's value. A coin described as very fine means it has seen some circulation, but still retains clear details. You can still see the main design elements, though there may be some wear on the higher points. In a very fine condition, the coin isn't brand new, but it's also far from heavily worn. This balance makes it attractive to collectors who want a piece of history without paying the premium for an uncirculated coin. When it comes to composition, the 1996 Australian 50-cent coin is made from cupronickel, which is a combination of and. This blend gives the coin durability and resistance to corrosion, ensuring it lasts for decades even with regular handling. Weighing and featuring its distinctive dodecagonal shape, this coin feels solid and substantial in hand. Its size and weight contribute to its popularity, making it one of the most noticeable coins in Australian currency. Collector demand for this coin is quite interesting. While the 1996 Australian 50-cent coin is not considered rare in general circulation, its value increases when it is preserved in better condition. Collectors often look for coins that have minimal wear, clean surfaces, and strong design details. Many beginner collectors start with coins like this because they are affordable and easy to find, yet still offer a sense of history and satisfaction. For more experienced collectors, the goal may be to find the best possible condition or even complete a full-year set of Australian coins. Now, let's talk about the part everyone is curious about: the current market value. A 1996 Australian 50-cent coin in very fine condition typically holds a modest value. In today's market, it is generally worth around $1,050,000 to $175,000, depending on its exact condition and visual appeal. While this may not sound like a huge amount, it's important to remember that coin collecting is not just about high prices. It's about history, enjoyment, and the excitement of discovering something meaningful in what might seem ordinary. Coins in better condition, such as extremely fine or uncirculated examples, can fetch higher prices, especially if they are well preserved and attractive to buyers. For those of you interested in collecting, there are a few helpful things to keep in mind. Always handle your coins carefully, preferably by the edges, to avoid fingerprints and damage. Storing your coins in protective holders can help maintain their condition over time. It's also a good idea to learn how to grade coins, as understanding condition will help you make better buying and selling decisions. Even coins with small differences in wear can have noticeable differences in value. And most importantly, collect what you enjoy. Whether it's Australian coins or coins from around the world, the joy of collecting comes from the connection you feel with each piece. In conclusion, the 1996 Australian 50-cent coin in very fine condition may not be extremely rare or highly valuable, but it carries a strong sense of history, durability, and design excellence. It's a great example of how everyday currency can become a collectible item over time. This coin reminds us that value isn't always about price. Sometimes it's about the story, the craftsmanship, and the journey it represents. Next up, today we're diving into something truly fascinating for coin lovers and collectors alike: the Australian 50-cent coin from 1973, especially those rare pieces that show a rust-black tone yet remain in fine condition. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but once you understand its story, its design, and its place in the collector market, you'll see why it continues to attract attention even today. Let's start with the history behind this coin. The 1973 Australian 50-cent coin is part of the iconic dodecagonal series, introduced in 1969 after the original silver round 50-cent coin was discontinued. By 1973, Australia had fully transitioned to cupronickel coins, and the 50-cent piece became one of the most recognizable coins in the country. It features the Australian coat of arms on the reverse, a proud symbol of national identity, while the obverse carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machine. This combination of design elements makes the coin both historically meaningful and visually appealing. Now let's talk about the condition, because this is where things get interesting. A rust-black toned coin, especially from 1973, can catch a collector's eye. Although Australian 50-cent coins are made from cupronickel and do not technically rust like iron, environmental exposure over decades can create dark toning that resembles a blackened or aged look. When this toning appears naturally and the coin is still in fine condition, meaning the details are visible and not heavily worn, it can actually enhance its character rather than reduce its appeal. Collectors often appreciate coins that show authentic aging, as long as the features remain clear. Looking at the background and composition of this coin, it is made of. This composition gives it durability and a silver-like appearance when new. The known as dodecagonal was specifically chosen to help distinguish it easily from other coins by touch. This design choice also adds uniqueness, making it stand out in collections worldwide. The weight and thickness of the coin further add to its solid feel, which collectors often appreciate when handling older currency. Now let's explore collector demand. The 1973 Australian 50-cent coin is not considered extremely rare in general circulation, but condition and appearance play a major role in demand. A coin that has developed an unusual dark tone while still preserving its details can become more desirable to niche collectors who enjoy character coins. These collectors are not just looking for shiny perfection, they are often searching for coins with a story, a journey, and a distinct look that sets them apart from standard pieces. Because of this, even a common year coin like 1973 can gain attention if it has unique toning or is well preserved. When we come to current market value, things depend heavily on condition and presentation. A typical circulated 1973 Australian 50-cent coin may only be worth its or slightly above, often around $130,000 to $150,000. However, a fine condition coin with appealing dark toning could fetch anywhere from $5 to $10, sometimes even more, if it is particularly attractive to collectors. If the coin is in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition with natural toning, the value can rise further. It's important to remember that the coin market is influenced by demand, trends, and buyer interest, so prices can vary. For collectors, there are a few important tips to keep in mind when dealing with coins like this. Always avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can reduce its value significantly. Natural toning is often preferred over artificial shine. Store your coins in a dry environment using proper holders to prevent further damage. Take time to learn about grading, as understanding condition can help you make better buying and selling decisions. And most importantly, collect coins that genuinely interest you, because passion is what makes this hobby rewarding. As we wrap up, the 1973 Australian 50-cent coin may not be the rarest coin out there, but it carries history, strong design, and the potential for unique character through aging. A rust-black toned coin in fine condition tells a story of time and preservation. Making it more than just currency, it becomes a small piece of history you can hold in your hand. Next up, today, we're diving into a fascinating collectible, the Australia 50 cents coin from 1970, issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Captain Cook's voyage to Australia. If you're a coin enthusiast, a history lover, or someone curious about hidden treasures in everyday objects, this is a story you're going to enjoy. The year 1970 marked 2 centuries since Captain James Cook charted the eastern coastline of Australia in 1770. To honor this historic journey, Australia released a special commemorative 50-cent coin. Unlike regular circulation coins, this one carries deep historical meaning, celebrating exploration and the beginning of modern Australia's recorded history. Now, when we talk about a coin from 1970 being in very fine condition, it means it has seen some circulation but still retains strong detail. The design elements are clearly visible, though there may be light wear on the higher points. The coin hasn't been overly polished or damaged, which is important because originality always adds value. Coins in very fine condition strike a beautiful balance. They've lived a life, passed through hands, but still preserve their story with clarity and dignity. The design of this coin is what truly captures attention. On one side, you'll find a depiction related to Captain Cook's voyage, symbolizing his ship and the spirit of exploration. It reflects movement, discovery, and courage, all tied to that historic journey in 1770. The background elements are clean and well-balanced, giving the design a timeless look. Even after decades, the imagery still feels meaningful and strong. As for composition, this 50-cent coin is made from cupronickel, which is a mix of copper and nickel. This material gives the coin durability and a distinctive silvery appearance. It also resists corrosion well, which is why many of these coins have survived in decent condition even after years in circulation. The coin's round shape and solid weight give it a satisfying presence. It's not just something you see, it's something you feel, and that physical connection adds to its charm. When it comes to collector demand, commemorative coins like this one hold a special place. They are not just currency, they are storytelling pieces. The connection to Captain Cook's voyage makes this coin historically significant, and collectors are always drawn to items that represent important milestones. The demand for this particular coin is steady and positive. It may not be extremely rare, but its historical theme and age make it desirable, especially for collectors focusing on Australian coins or maritime history. Collectors often appreciate coins like this because they are accessible yet meaningful. It's the kind of piece that both beginners and experienced collectors enjoy adding to their collections. Now let's talk about value, which is always an exciting part. A 1970 Australia 50 cents coin in very fine condition typically holds a modest but respectable market value. As of today, you can expect this coin to be worth around $340,000 to $75,000, depending on the exact condition, detail sharpness, and market demand at the time of sale. If the coin leans closer to extremely fine condition, the value can rise slightly higher. On the other hand, coins with more wear may stay at the lower end of that range. While it may not be a high-value coin in terms of price, its real worth lies in its history and collectible appeal. And sometimes those are the coins that bring the most joy. If you're thinking about collecting coins like this, there are a few important things to keep in mind. Always handle your coins carefully, preferably by the edges, to avoid fingerprints and damage. Storing them in protective holders or albums can help preserve their condition over time. It's also a good idea to learn how to identify different grades of condition. Understanding the difference between very fine and extremely fine can help you make smarter buying decisions. Patience is another key factor. Collecting is not just about buying quickly, it's about enjoying the journey, learning the stories behind each piece, and gradually building something meaningful. And perhaps most importantly, collect what you genuinely like. Coins like this 1970 commemorative piece are perfect because they combine history, design, and accessibility. At the end of the day, the Australia 50 cents coin from 1970 is more than just a piece of metal. It represents exploration, history, and a moment that shaped a nation. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, coins like this remind us that value isn't always about price. Sometimes it's about the connection to the past and the joy of holding history in your hand. So next time you come across an old coin, take a closer look. You never know what story it might be waiting to tell.